This is Dr. Daniel Paul, orthopedic surgeon with Easy Orthopedics, and today we're going to talk about how to clean out a dirty wound. If you like this video, we put out new content weekly, so please like and subscribe. So a dirty wound compared to a clean wound, what's the difference? A clean wound would be like in surgery, like where you're making a sterile incision with a scalpel, or if you're at home and you get cut on something that's really not super dirty, like let's say a piece of paper or something like a paper cut, that would probably be clean. Dirty wound is like almost anything else. So if you're outside and you get cut, or if there's actual dirt in it, it doesn't have to be actual dirt, or let's say you're cutting something with a knife, let's say like chicken or something, and then cut yourself, like that would be a very dirty wound, even though there's not actually dirt in there. So how do you clean it? What you want to do first is rinse it with a lot of fluid. So what I use is sterile saline, which you can get in the store, and rinse it. If you don't have that, you can use soapy water. The idea is that you want to clean out any sort of debris that's gotten stuck in there, any particulate matter that shouldn't be in there, because if that is left in there, bacteria will stick onto it and it can become infected. So that's mostly what you do. Now, if I'm cleaning wounds out, what I use is I'll use betadine, which you might be able to get over the counter as well, and you can kind of just dump that into the wound. It might sting a little bit, and then after that, you can put the saline and rinse it out. I wouldn't really use isopropyl alcohol. While that will work, it'll sting terribly. So if you're looking for something along that lines, I would use betadine rather than using any sort of like alcohol type rubs, because that will just hurt like crazy. So rinse it out with betadine, then rinse it with sterile saline. And when you're rinsing it, usually just if you can squeeze the bottle to get a nice stream, you don't want anything too heavy, but if you can get a little bit of a stream, it's not really going to hurt you depending on where it is, especially if it's like a thigh or leg wound. You can really put a heavy stream in those areas. If it's more like hand wound and there's nerves and stuff around, you got to be more careful. And then after that, you can basically apply antibiotic ointment a couple times a day and keep it covered. And for most wounds, that'll really do the trick. If it doesn't, so when will that not work? So if you have a really deep wound or a really dirty wound, or there's a break or a fracture involved, then like really have to get it cleaned out by a professional, because in some instances, the dirt from the wound is so deep that you're not going to be able to get it. So what they have to do is something called an incision and drainage, where they'll take you back to surgery, put you to sleep, and then they can clean it out thoroughly. Normally when we do that, when it's kind of the wound starts becoming infected, you want to leave these wounds open. You don't really want to suture them super tight. If you do that, you won't let the wound drain. So having some drainage from your wound is okay. But if it starts to be like purulent drainage, like that's whitish color, and it starts to hurt more, and all your skin is getting super red all the way around the area, then it's probably infected and you probably need to go on antibiotics. But if it's a simple wound first, then you're just at home, it's worth, if you rinse it out properly and put antibiotics on it, that's a good start. But again, if you start experiencing any of those symptoms, you got to go see someone to get it cleaned out properly. So I hope I was able to answer your questions about how to clean out a dirty wound. If you have any questions I didn't answer, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to respond, but I can't give you personal information about your specific condition. Again, if you like this video, we put out new content weekly, so please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.